What's good, everybody? I'm Brandon. Hey, bro, today we're about to do another video from What Culture Wrestling. This one right here is titled Ups and Downs from WWE Stomping Ground. Y'all requested it. Don't trip. You know I got y'all. Bro. Y'all requested this heavy. So you know what? I told you guys, every single pay-per-view event that happens, I'll react to What Culture's Wrestling review on it, because y'all know I can't watch the highlights. If I try to watch the highlights, WWE, they give a copyright strike on that, and they block that like this. I guess when it comes to their pay-per-view things, they don't want anyone to have access to it except them, and that's understandable. But anyway, we about to see what happened on Stomping Grounds. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I'm trying to see what's going to happen with Kofi and Dolph Ziggler. I'm trying to see what's going to happen with Seth Rollins. I'm trying to see what's about to happen with everybody, bro. I'm hella excited for this. This right here is a 20-minute video. Excuse me. So I'm not going to pause it whatsoever. If I have something to say, I'll just speak over the video. Also, before I hop into it, make sure y'all leave a comment down below. Let me know what y'all want to see me react to next. It's a beautiful day. Give thanks to God, the Most High, Universe, Mother Earth, whoever you believe in. It's a beautiful day. We're all alive. We're all about to watch this video together. So just give thanks for that. I love y'all. Each and every one of y'all. Bro, I love you. Sis, I love you. Baby, I love you. Alright, anyway, let's go.
Let's talk about life just really quickly. When you have zero expectations and then something exceeds those expectations, you feel better than if it was the other way around. So if I tell you, hey, come round my house, and you think I'm going to punch you in the face, but instead I give you a loving hug, that hug is gonna feel like the best thing ever. Now that is not me saying the Stomping Grounds is the best WWE pay-per-view ever, but it was far better than I was expecting, even though there are some questionable elements that we need to get through, but that's why I exist, and that's why Ups and Downs exist too. We're now gonna go through the latest WWE pay-per-view, and we're gonna give the good bits an up, and we're gonna give the bad bits a down.
All right,
you are
bro.
wondering, yes, I just said my mother gave birth to me so I could review pro wrestling shows. Thank you, mother. Let's up those downs.
Bro, we appreciate it though. You know what I'm saying? Even something as small as this still has an impact because we all watch it and we love it. You feel me? Like, I appreciate them. Because I don't watch it.
The pre-show featured the Cruiserweights going at it for the 205 Live Championship. But let's face it, WWE always does that, so it's not a big surprise. Who gives two hoots? This match absolutely kicked ass and justified.
Okay.
If you did tune in to watch the little shindig before everything kicked off proper. Give it an up. It saw Drew Gulak win the Cruiserweight title after he pinned Tozawa after his torture rat neck breaker thing. And not only did this just get better and better and better and better as it went, but it also involved all the crowd, which is doubly impressive, because I'm sure you've seen on social media, this was not the most well-attended WWE pay-per-view that we've seen in recent years, but thank you to Tacoma, Washington, I think that's where it is, I always get it wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's correct, for making a noise. You made it a lot of fun. Which leads us to Stomping Ground proper, and we did kick things off with Becky Lynch, the Raw Women's Champion, defending her belt against Lacey Evans. And before we get to that, at one point during this, Renee Young said that Becky Lynch thinks Lacey Evans is out of her depth in a puddle. Is that what Becky Lynch thinks? Renee Young, did she say that to you? Maybe backstage, because if she did, as ever, you should be on the phone to someone, because nobody talks like that. I have a segment for that, you know, but I'm not going to
Nobody does.
I want to keep it for Raw and Smackdown. We're only doing one a week. It's like a golden up and a brown down. You get one a week, and all of this just got even more weird, be it Michael Cole going crazy at the end of the Seth Rollins-Baron Corbin match, going, Seth wins, all the point when Byron Saxton, I like Byron Saxton a lot. I think Byron Saxton has been, well, he's got a lot of unfair and undue criticism, but at one point, he said something like, we have to now start pondering what the future for this competitor is, given the issues that they've currently faced. What? That's like robot talk. Anyway, the point of all of this is it's getting them down. Focusing back on the match itself, though, it was perfectly
I'm not going to try to decipher.
I know that's not going to be enough for some people. They're going to get their pitchforks out and say, stab, kill. But it was. Lacey Evans is basically learning on the job, this we know. And while you may think that she doesn't deserve to be in this spot, she is. And it was a perfectly acceptable match.
Why is she just now learning on the job? She wasn't wrestling for too long?
Lacey Evans in the disarmer.
She just got started?
Tapped out. Well, instantly. It was like she was trying to turn a light switch on and off really fast. it can have an up. Also, yeah, I know that we can hear Becky Lynch calling the spots, but that sometimes happens in wrestling matches. I'm not going to get too bogged down in stuff like that. And besides, one of those spots was Becky Lynch taking her fingers and ramming it down Lacey Evans' throat or in the teeth, whether that nerve is supposed to be. She gave her a mandible claw, and I can't remember the last time I saw a mandible claw when Mick Foley wasn't on TV.
Sexy.
It entertained me.
They getting freaky with it, nigga.
We then started teasing all the special guest referee stuff because Paul Heyman came out of Baron Corbin's office, and as he was being interviewed, he said, don't even worry about that. What you should be worried about is that not only is Seth Rollins the Universal Champion here, but so is Kofi Kingston the WWE Champion.
Yes, sir.
Maybe Brock Lesnar is as well. Of course, Brock Lesnar wasn't there. That storyline just does not work at all. Anyway, that was done, and Baron came out and said he's chosen his special guest referee, and he'll find out later, and then he'll win the Universal title, and then he'll go on to fight Brock Lesnar. Yeah, right.
You ain't beat Seth.
We'll talk about that special guest referee.
If you do, I'm crying.
We moved on to the New Day versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn next. And
okay.
This is where the pay-per-view started to peak and grab my interest.
Yeah, so that's a good match.
The main reason for that was because KO and Sami won. If you have been watching us again, you already know that Zayn didn't get the pinfall here because WWE will never allow him to do that. But after a stunner on Xavier Woods, Kevin Owens did. They won. And the reason this got me excited because in many ways it goes against WWE protocol. I mean, in the past, if we were doing our usual tick boxes, the New Day, Big E, and Xavier Woods would have absolutely got the victory here. So something deep down inside of me is hoping that everything in my being crossed, that come Raw, that's happening in a few hours, WWE may actually start to shake things up or at least do things a little bit differently. I know that makes me a fool, I know that makes me an idiot, but I gotta have some hope, otherwise you know what happens to my face? I take it and I get a cheese grater and I just slice it off, and then what if that falls on someone's pasta? They'll be like, oh, Simon, delicious cheese, and I'm gonna be like, it's my face. And then they're not going to want to come around for dinner anymore, are they? What are we talking about?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Because again, this was like a half full, 3/4 full building for a pay-per-view, but they didn't sell that many tickets. And that's mostly because it was basically Super Showdown 1.5, but at least here, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn.
But y'all didn't really like Super Showdown.
Momentum to do something good with those guys. The start was really cool as well because KO and Sami just went on the offensive. I mean, we saw a frog splash and we saw a blue thunder bomb. For a while, Xavier Woods was just getting his ass kicked, and if you can believe it, when you see a couple of guys do that, you watch them and go, huh, they're really badass. I feel myself enjoying the performance and the entertainment they're putting out there. This is what this is. This is like blood coming out of my chest. Now that I've said all this, of course, the New Day will just get their win back on Raw or SmackDown, and we have to go back to me sitting there in my seat, feeling very sorry for myself, because once again, I've been duped. At least for the next, 12 hours? I could be feeling good. Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss were also in the back saying that Bayley is such an asshole. Great. Ricochet then defeated Samoa Joe to become the United States champion.
Samoa Joe.
That always hurts me on some level because, as you know, I'm in love with Samoa Joe, but this match kicked all the ass.
No homo.
Tied in to what I was just talking about. Maybe we are going to start doing things just a little bit differently. Give it up. The idea was that Ricochet would flip all around the place, but because Samoa Joe is such a badass, he would keep clubbing him down. At one point, Samoa Joe got out of the way of a 630 and then he clotheslined the hell out of Ricochet, but because he's such a high flyer, he landed on his feet. Smashed Samoa Joe with a code broker, went back to the top rope, hit that 630, and yeah, he got the 1, he got the 2, he got the 3. Samoa Joe loses his belt, and Ricochet wins his first major title on the main roster. If WWE does do this right, it will become one of the most exciting things of 2019 so far. There is potential and there is power in Ricochet's veins, but he's got to be booked appropriately.
Yeah, Ricochet's actually one of my favorites.
Once more, we'll find out of Raw. But if you take all of that, I tell you, Stomping Grounds, which we all thought was going to be absolute garbage, well, it was off to quite the start.
Yeah, it seemed fire, bro. It seemed fire.
Kid running a train in the theme park. I was like, woohoo! We also Ricochet in the backstage area, and he was being congratulated by like Seth Rollins and Heavy Machinery and Zack Ryder. For some reason, Charlotte Flair was there. Why she wanted to celebrate Ricochet, I don't know. But also the man himself, Triple H, gave him a hug and was like, "Well done, pal."
I can tell by that bald, fat head.
Association. Now, if you didn't know there was a relationship between Triple H and Ricochet, maybe you start to see Ricochet in a better life. Keep those fingers crossed. It was the SmackDown Tag Team titles on the line after this. Thank the world for Daniel Bryan. He is so damn good.
Of course.
Once more, the crowd with the stars here as they cheered Daniel Bryan, the hometown hero, like they were never going to see him again. And it got so crazy, they even booed Otis. Imagine booing Otis. He's like your crazy uncle that comes around at Christmas. But again, Daniel Bryan was so beloved that fans didn't care, and it just made this match so much fun.
Hey,
we even got a driver Prius chant at one point, which just, I tell you, at that point I was just doing a little dance and having a little fun in my living room because it was just so entertaining. Although unfortunately, the finish was a little bit meh. Tucker had flown out of his corner with fire and he was timing up the ropes. He was jumping onto Eric Rowan and he was all ready to go. And then when he got in the ring like some kind of chump, he got rolled up by Daniel Bryan, and indeed Heavy Machinery lost. Daniel Bryan and Recyclable Rowan were able to retain.
You shady. He called Rowan
I like
recyclable.
that. The fans
He is
liked it.
recyclable.
They
He
were
just be jumping on whatever.
to see Daniel walk away with his hand raised. Just so bored of roll-up finishes in WWE.
Me too.
Just like Daniel Bryan could have done the running knee. Tucker was coming into the ring. He could have been in the corner, slap bang. At least that would have been a bit stronger.
Yeah.
So really, when we take all that in, given everything else we've seen over the last few weeks, months, years, give it a down. Bayley was next.
What?
She Bayley to belly to Alexa Bliss to also walk away with her Smackdown Women's Championship. And I see a lot of people saying they didn't like this. I thought it was alright. Maybe I'm a fool, but I got the finger of power. It gets enough. Now, it wasn't the best thing I've ever seen. It would have to have Repo Man in for that to be the case, but I thought that Alexa Bliss's slow, methodical heel work as she worked over Bayley's arm and at one point threw her into the corner and then just slapped her in the face was far better than most people give her credit for. And yeah, of course, eventually Nikki Cross got involved. Bayley was going to go for a dive, and that dastardly Alexa Bliss pushed Nikki Cross into the way. So why Cross can't figure this out, I don't know.
Alexa Bliss is a heel, and I love
Bliss
it.
was about to go for the Twisted Bliss, but Nikki Cross was in the ring going, oh, how'd you do that to me? And then she was being thrown out the ring, but somehow Alexa Bliss still went for her finishing move, but Bayley got the knees up, and then she hit her finisher. But look, Bayley's being booked pretty well. She wins matches.
She's been winning.
I thought the pacing of this was actually quite entertaining. And while I could just remove the Nikki Cross stuff, because like I say, it makes Nikki Cross look like a doofus, it was all right. What were you expecting? The Leaning Tower of Pisa? Nuts. Also, let's not forget that a couple of years ago, these two had an absolute horror show, and this was far better than that. It's passable. It's okay. I had a good time watching it. We've got a recap of everything that had happened with the 24/7 title recently, and if you haven't seen that, just go on to WWE's YouTube channel and watch it. Obviously, Drake Maverick won the title on Smackdown or Raw, whatever it was. He went to his wedding. R-Truth got involved in that wedding. He rolled up Drake Maverick. He took his title back.
Hey.
Now, Drake Maverick's new wife wants a divorce. Why anybody wants to go after that championship, I don't know. It's just hell on earth. But again,
it's hilarious, bro.
We also got a very interesting segment where Ricochet was backstage taking some promo pictures with his new title. Gallows and Anderson came up, goofing around. But then AJ Styles joined them. They all threw up the two sweets as if to say, look, we are back together. We are a team. And then more interestingly than that,
AJ
Styles said, I'll see you tomorrow. Now that makes me excited for many reasons. One, if we get AJ Styles versus Ricochet, I am going to be a happy chappy.
Me too.
Two,
that's a great match.
I kind of felt like Styles was teasing going heel here. And as I said on my predictions, not true at all, I didn't say on predictions, I said it on my social media. As I said on my social media, I am ready for an AJ Styles heel turn where he reteams with Gallows and Anderson. Just feels right. And I do want to point out, this is WWE, and AJ Styles did say, the exact quote was, I'll see you tomorrow. So there's every chance Vince McMahon is going to book a segment where AJ Styles just looks at Ricochet for like 5 minutes like that. Just stares, and you're like, well,
I saw you.
That's what he's doing, but you know,
exactly.
Positivity.
Exactly.
It was our big dog Roman Reigns entering into the squared circle to take on the Scottish psychopath Drew McIntyre, who was also accompanied by the best in the world, Shane McMahon. And the reason I said it like all of that is so that you can understand how this match was impossible to enjoy, despite the fact Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre are great. Because when WWE has little bits of branding and a little bit of marketing, it just completely takes you out of the experience, and also, you know, Shane McMahon down. And again, the problem here wasn't with the performances. It's when you take in the context around it, and that dragged this down and threw it into the mud. And look, Drew and Roman proved how good they were.
Yeah,
then about 3
two
minutes,
good wrestlers.
Roman Reigns did that crazy dive over the top rope. But then Shane McMahon was getting involved. and it just completely knocked it off the rails.
You got
And
tired
yeah,
of
at one
that?
point McMahon hit the coast to coast on Roman, and that didn't even phase him, to the point he was able to get back up, hit one last spear on Drew McIntyre, and get the 1, 2, 3. But you know what the issue is there? Now, in the world of professional wrestling, or in the world of WWE, Shane McMahon was able to beat Roman Reigns, but Drew McIntyre was not. So am I meant to think that Shane McMahon
is better than Drew McIntyre?
Also, at this point, Drew McIntyre is just becoming Bray Wyatt. He talks a good game, and he does sound like a mad person, but as soon as he's in the ring, he loses. See, story does matter. I got a kick out of the match, but constantly I was going, well, what does this mean? And how does that tie into that? And that doesn't make any sense.
Man, you digging too deep into it.
Either. Mere minutes after they did lose, Drew McIntyre was livid backstage, so Shane McMahon made Drew and Shane in a handicap match against Roman Reigns on Raw, despite the fact that Roman Reigns is a SmackDown superstar. I'm just done with it. Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler in a steel cage for the WWE Championship, however, was okay. Not a little bit long and a little bit boring when it can still get it up. It just wasn't the most exciting cage match in the world, and I think the real problem that WWE ran into is that nobody in their right mind believed that Dolph Ziggler was going to be able to win. And when you do that, it's harder to buy in because you already think you know the result. And there was one crazy near fall after the zigzag. I was like, oh, maybe. But even then, I couldn't buy in 100%. And when you can't buy in 100%, you may as well go home and do the dishes. So yeah, Kingston held on to his belt, but we do have to give a quick applause for the finish, because I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. Dolph Ziggler was slowly climbing towards the cage door, and it's like, oh, maybe he's going to win, but obviously no one actually thought it for the reasons we just talked about. And then Kofi, being the madman that he is, just dove over Dolph Ziggler through the middle rope and landed on the floor before Dolph could even think about it. And just go watch that in slow motion. That would have hurt Kofi Kingston's body. Where Kofi goes next, I don't know, but if we do a third match between these two, I'm going to get a hammer and I'm going to
leave it alone, bro.
On the floor.
Leave it alone.
Worry about my nose instead.
I want to see Kofi Kingston versus.
Which brings us to our main event, which was Baron Corbin challenging Seth Rollins for his Universal Championship.
Seth Rollins?
The big question
That would be
everybody's lips was, where is Repo Man? WWE did not answer that.
What the fuck is a Repo Man?
Let us know who Baron Corbin's special guest referee was going to be.
Oh.
Let's get into it. It was Lacey Evans, and straight away I can feel you face palming. If you didn't know that, I can feel your hand slowly smashing
I literally
into your
just
head.
did that.
Here's the thing, I have
Lacey
done
Evans.
a lot of thinking about this.
I love Lacey Evans.
When I first did
She
her
looked
music,
good.
you know, bam, bam, ba-dam, ba-dam, bam, I was like, Lacey Evans, are you kidding me? But then I was like, you know what? Maybe that's not as bad as I first thought. For starters, it's unpredictable. Nobody called Lacey Evans. I mean, you know, we do get on WWE's case for being really boring. Like, imagine it had been Bobby Lashley. If it had been Bobby Lashley, everybody would have imploded right now because they would have been so upset. But also, from Baron's point of view, it actually makes loads of sense, and he comes across like a smart heel, because Seth Rollins had already stolen the microphone from Baron and said, look, whoever's going to come down that aisle, I'm going to beat them up with this chair. But then it was Lacey. He couldn't do anything. Baron Corbin knew that, but Baron Corbin also knew that Seth Rollins is in a relationship with Becky Lynch, and WWE has been talking about that on WWE TV, even though I thought they did a bad job. Still, it had been referenced, so there's your two ticks. One, Seth ain't going to beat her up with a chair, and two, it may get in Seth's head, because he knows that his girlfriend or his partner or whatever challenged her to a match earlier, and there's a bit of fracas there. It does add up, and it is different. Of course, Lacey got involved, and this was every single bad guy special guest referee match you've ever seen. So Lacey was counting slow, and then she was counting fast, and then her arm hurt. Then at one point, Baron Corbin was going to get counted out. She said, oh, no count outs. Then he was going to get DQ'd. It was like, oh, no DQ.
Shady,
I don't really like that
Lacey,
because it's
shady,
so
baby.
lazy. It's like when something happens on WWE TV, and no one has an answer, so a wrestler pops up and go, it must have been Shane McMahon. At least come up with something that has some weight. So that part of it can get it down. But the ending to all of this was ridiculous in the best possible way. And I can't remember the last time I saw a big WWE pay-per-view that ended with a satisfying and nice ending. So for that, it can get it up. Lynch ran down to attack Lacey Evans.
There we go, baby.
Smash Seth Rollins right in the balls. And I guess, you know, that would be a worry for Becky Lynch, depending on what the future of their relationship is. And from there, it was the end for Big Boy Baron. John Cone was now the referee, and that's the guy that started all this, because Corbin hates him from Super Showdown. Seth Rollins hit him with a curb stop. 1, 2, 3. Rollins retains, and at the end, yeah, we had Becky Lynch, and we had Seth Rollins hugging and kissing and just being a lovely pair of people. What we do have to point out is that long term, this may be the worst thing ever. Because if you do continue logical booking, that means either on a Raw or a Smackdown or even at Extreme Rules, and we cannot do that, we are going to get Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans. And I don't know anybody who has ever asked for that. They're out there. They don't exist. Well, they do exist. They're just saying it now for the sake of saying it. That was it.
My dude is hilarious, bro. Anyway, great video from What Culture. Great review from Simon, like always. Like I say, you know, I miss these. I don't watch these. And when I do his reviews, I feel like I know exactly what happened. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like I'm behind the curve. So now when I do reaction to Raw, I know exactly what happened with the pay-per-view, so I'm caught up. You feel me? But anyway, great video. Yeah, that's gonna be a weird 2-on-2, bro. Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, that right there, they some beasts. That's a good duo. But Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin, that's hella random, bro. But anyway, great video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. See y'all next time.